everyone, I'm Holly and I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap. In this video today, I'm doing another pack and chat. I had a mini release that followed my last release by 2 weeks. I had a couple of soaps that were curing but weren't quite ready for the last release, so I decided to bring them on just a couple of weeks later instead of waiting even longer. And then that kind of snowballed and I ended up making some new products and a bunch of bath bombs, etc. So I had a couple of pack and chat requests, and so that's what we're going to do right now. So this first order is going to Tanzania, and I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm not quite certain on it. And I didn't even look to see where you were located. Louisiana. Oh, I love the name of your town. That's kind of a fun name. That's cool. So into this order, we're going to put in a bunch of bath bombs. And we have the bears. So we have one of each. So we have Honey Bear, Cherry Hill, and Mountain Huckleberry. And I have been trying to make them just a little bit brighter, a little bit more saturated in color, to be a little bit more fun. They are just going to vary a little bit between batches. I do write down notes about what I have used from batch to batch, but sometimes it just doesn't end up quite the same. Even the process when I add ingredients compared to like when the citric acid goes in can completely change the color, especially on purple. So I am just going to wrap them in some bubble paper. They're very hard. In fact, I had my sample one the other day and I dropped it and nothing happened. So that's good. So that's what we're going to do, but I do like to give them the extra protection because just the process of the travel across the United States is just like, you know, vibrating and stuff, and so we just want to give them their best chance to arrive all in one piece. I mean, if all else fails, we'll have bath bomb powder, but who wants that when you bought a shake? Alright, so I want to put some shred in the bottom so it has a little bit of a nice ride, and the shred is also very helpful as a little layer of insulation as well. So let's put in, we're going to do 2 on the bottom like so. The box is just a smidgen large, but it really does need plenty of space for the bath bombs. So then we have a figgy cream and a moonberry hexagon bath bomb. And this is the one that has a dark purple core. It's very fun. Very, very fun. I'm going to put in it kind of up in here, a nice spot to ride. And so there we have our 5 bath bombs. I saw somebody I followed the other day got their biodegradable peanuts in, said it would last them through the holiday season. They pretty much were going to need a room just to store the peanuts. And that's why I use the shred. Because it is a, well, I'd have to move it over here. It's extremely compact in this box. And I can pack a lot of orders. Oh my. I can pack a lot of orders with one box. And I just can get it in the nooks and crannies. And that's just, that's why I like it. For shipping, they tend to charge, you know, oversized rates for shipping. They do a little bit for the shred, but in my experience is not anywhere near. News flash. If you're a maker that needs boxes, I just saw an ad for Granger, which I've heard about Granger for ages, but I always thought they were just more mechanical supply, what have you. But they have boxes, and I actually looked at their price and compared to Paper Mart, they were, what was it, $108 cheaper for 7 different varieties that I would get. I compared one to the other. Now, I've been getting most of them at Amazon just because it's the best deal, really. And so I'll have to compare to Amazon now, and also just double check Uline. Uline has always been just out of bounds on shipping. Even when I was in Missouri, I used to get boxes out of New York State, and it would cost a lot less than from even Uline. But comparisons do still need to be made. But I was very excited to see that I could buy 7 different boxes, packs of 25, for $104, and only, I think it was $30-some in shipping. So I was pretty excited about that. The Paper Mart, I think the total of the boxes came to $108, so it wasn't that much different. But their shipping was like how much was their shipping? I think the shipping was like $104 or it was something crazy like that. Either way, the difference in price was pretty much the amount of one order of boxes without shipping. So yeah. All right, so then, speaking of deals, okay. So I have not typically bought a lot of citric acid in the last 3 years since when did I start back up again? 23. Last 2 years since I've been back in business here in Montana. I used to buy 50-pound buckets and 50 pounds of citric acid in like a 5-gallon bucket, and then I'd put a gamma lid on it, and I'd run through those pretty fast. Well, here I haven't sold that many bath bombs. It really took me a while to get back into, because I had to redo my recipe up here with it being so dry. So it took me a while to get that figured out. And so I've just been buying 5 and 10 pounds here, there, and natural bulk supplies. I'd pick it up at Brambleberry if I was making an order. I'd pick it up at Wholesale Supplies Plus, etc. Well, I did just the Google. I did used to buy it from Rav something Chem. I used to buy the big jungle Bowser. Whatever those were called. From Ravago Chem. Anyway, I did a search. Long story, very long. I did a search, and Duda Diesel, which we all know Duda Diesel from way back, they had a 50-pound bucket of fine anhydrous citric acid, non-GMO, food grade, etc. And with shipping, it was only $150, and they're coming out of Alabama. So I'm pretty excited about that, to have a 50-pound bucket. I'll have to go buy a gamma lid again. So I made some extra little samples. I just wanted to play with my heart bath bomb mold again. So I made these, and they are coconut raspberry. Super delightful. So I made about 12 or so. I used up every last little bit of citric acid I had. And so I've been tucking these into most orders that have bath bombs. That should sit there is fine. And so that's really fun. I've been getting really good feedback from people trying my bath bomb recipe on YouTube. And one viewer, asked if they can add some more SLSA for bubbles, or SCI if you want. I have SCI, but I haven't actually played with it yet. And yeah, I mean, that definitely can be added. The recipe may have to be tweaked a little bit. The other thing is just to watch usage rates for it. There's, percentage usage rates. And that'll create way more bubbles if and you want it. All right, I'm going to put in a bronze strawberry soap sample. And then we're going to put in the business card and my invoice and my cutie patootie huckleberry sticker. And the business card with all the infos. And then this one's going to be off to Louisiana. I'm watching Once Upon a Time with my daughter, and I feel like that was just a very Rumpelstiltskin in his evil dark one, Goldie skin for him. Louisiana. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and fold that over one more time. My goodness, you know I love the purple paper. Pie is my favorite though. Who remembers back in the olden days when all I used was that dark, like sapphire blue paper with the sparkles? That was good stuff. That was good stuff. So the remainder of this video is 3 orders going to 1 person. So Cassidy has blessed us with a few new orders. Cassidy in South Dakota. I'm so pleased and grateful. Thank you so very much. I feel like Cassidy is keeping me afloat right now. So this is the first order. So there's a lot going on there. I think I'm going to package them all separately. They all hit the free shipping threshold, and I just think overall with the route and because they're somewhat higher value orders, I think it's just in my best interest to pack them individually so that they are guaranteed their protection. I need to double check with route, like if I were to package it in one huge box, if the 3 different ones would protect it. It really should because it's protecting those products, so it shouldn't matter if it's in one. But the other thing is when, kind of like you put all your, put your eggs all in one basket. What if something happens to that box? Then, you know, in UPS, you know, something comes along. I feel like my products are too delicate for UPS. But if something were to come along and damage that one box, that would be heartbreaking. I have not checked this off yet, so I need to do that just to double check. I sent a package to my friend Jenya, and I got so excited, like I pulled out a bunch of extra stuff that I was going to send to her. And in the process of picking and choosing, I left out one of the things she'd actually ordered. So I'll have to send that to her today. So pay attention and focus. Crema cacao. Figgy cream. Whipped soap. Scrub. Check. We have 2 figgy cream bath bombs. Check, check. 2 mango coconut peach bath bombs. Check, check. Sugared watermelon wisteria whipped. That there, keep it separate. Honey bear, that's what I forgot to put in my friend's order. Cranberry limeade, peonies and peaches, bronze strawberry whipped soap scrub, check. Sunflower wax melts, bronze strawberry, check, check. Let's see. We have a bronze strawberry donut bath bomb. 2 of those. So there we have those. Check, check. Bronze strawberry soap. Yoler. 2 meadows. Check, check. The bronze strawberry whipped cream soap. Figgy whipped cream soap. That's different from my scrub. Honey Bear bubbling bath salt / milk bath. Then we have 3, because this is for later, 3 sprays. Honey Bear pink grapefruit and sugared watermelon. Sugared watermelon soap and charcoal. That was the last of that one. Thank you. Sanku. Alright. You do need to package one of these little bath bombs. So I have these just little cello, whatever bag. It's very crinkly. And put my little label on, which doesn't really fit very well, but gotta get that information on there. And so that's ready. So like I said, Cassidy got free shipping on all of these orders. I don't have a lot extra that I could send, but we may just have to pick and choose. And if it's repeats, maybe like a little soap sample, maybe you can take that with you on a trip sometime. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes that I pulled the other orders, and then I've been doing some thinking. I've just been thinking, and where could I get a bigger box? So I pulled out the Mahusive ladder, climbed up there above me, and dug around, and lo and behold, I had 12 8/8 after all. If you watched my last package hat, I thought I had 12s and I couldn't find them, and I was like, oh, I love you, box. Okay, so we're going to put in the jars. So we have the new whipped soaps. Now these are a brand new product. This is not the scrub. This is just the whipped soap. No sugar in it. So you'll use a clean, dry spoon, and you'll scoop out a little bit, put it on like a loofah, sponge dealio, and it should suds and be great wonder. So there's those, and then we do have a figgy cream whipped soap scrub. Now, if you look, I did make the labels a smidgen different, so I can tell the difference. Anyway, I was going to say something further on the matter. I do not recall where I was going with that. Oh, figgy cream soap is made and curing, but it won't be available until August sometime. We have a Wisteria whipped soap scrub. And then we did have, what do we got going on here? I want to keep everybody together. Not because I need to, but because I'm wacky like that. So the figgy creams are stacked, and then we'll have the bronze strawberry. Now this is a brand new scent that I have blended, and I love it so very much. It is strawberries, bourbon, champagne, and vanilla. So I have added an extra strawberry into a strawberries and champagne type. I've mixed in another strawberry with it that kind of brings in the bourbon and the vanilla. Oh my goodness, it's dandy. We're going to put in our bubbling bath salts, milk bath. Those are made with goat milk and buttermilk. Fiddlesticks, I was hoping he was gonna go right there. Let's see now. Have to have lots of room for the bath bombs, but I think I'll work on the sprays. So I have to tighten them down first. And then I need probably a couple of those. Get out my baggies. All right. Got it. I know what I'm doing. Pardon. I was gonna film this yesterday, but my mood was low and south and not good. It would not have been a fun video. And I usually started out my day the same way, coming out here. But then I thought, I'll just film anyway today. This is the first I've filmed from the last package hat. I don't have any soap videos coming. I just don't have much happening. Because I have just been stressed and moody and hanging on for dear life. Just trying to make it through each day. This HVAC guy, did you feel that coming? Is going to be the death of both of us. My neighbor, in unrelated issues, has been in the hospital for high blood pressure, panic attack situation, it sounded like. I just feel like we might just need a suite. We'll just all hang out in the hospital together, just trying not to die. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I have the room sprayed, so I think I'll just set them upright as well. Let's maybe put a soap in there. So we're going to put in the Honey Bear soap. So the last time I came to you on video was we were outside the day after I had filmed the orders. And we'd gone around the cabin and walked around the property. That was a way bumpier ride than I anticipated. I am sorry about that. That did not go well. I had my stabilizers on and everything. Anyway, we were waiting on him, the HVAC fellow, because he hadn't been there since Monday. And he was... This is a 7-week process, and he's worked a combined total of 3 hours. And so... we are now 2 weeks later. He's not been here yet. But every single day, I'll be there. I'll be there. He was going to be here Friday. For sure. For sure on Friday. Never heard another word from him. Monday, we thought, well, maybe he'll show up. Didn't hear anything one way or another. So my husband called him and said, listen, dude, we are in a pickle. You said you were going to come out and do this work. It's been 6 weeks. Now we're at 7. You've got to get out here and get the work done. We've already paid him a small advance. He picked up our check from the bank, took it to his suppliers. He bought stuff, you know, things like that. He had some custom things done that we don't have yet, etc. And then, so Monday night he was like, I'll be there on Tuesday. So he texts on Tuesday morning, I'm running a little bit behind. My husband said, oh, what does that mean? Like noon? And he's like, yes, I'll be there by noon. Never heard another word the whole day. Finally, he calls my husband back, completely ghosted my husband's calls and texts. Calls him back last night about 6 while we're in the Lowe's parking lot. And he was absolutely going to be out here first thing this morning. It's noon. He claims he's on his way. I have no words. I don't know how one is so incompetent. I truly don't get it. My husband manages a team of people. He's got like 14 people that work for him. He has been in the Navy. You know, he's done all these things. He has never witnessed someone this incompetent. And people say, well, why don't you just fire him? Well, there's a little bit more involved with it at the moment. There's a lot of details that I'm not going to go into, but there's a reason why we need this one person to come and do the job that he said he was going to do. We just want him to do the job and then just get it done and leave us alone forever. He will never do any work for us again. But we need to get this done. Alright, let's put in, this is kind of a confusing, when they get this big, my mind starts jumbling a little bit. So we're going to put in the 2 Meadows. I love this soap. I was editing the reel that I had made a while back. And, oh gosh, there's no rhyme or reason to this design, but I absolutely love this soap. And then the Bronze Strawberry in a soap. My goodness, it's so good. We have Sugared Watermelon. Again, I have like nearly 1,000 soap bars on my shelves, so it has kind of come and caught me off guard. I'm a soap maker. That's what I do. My soap has been always my main line of income, and I sold like 7 bars of this Meadow and Bronze Strawberry. So I don't know, the charcoal bar and creme cacao, but I do have a lot of other stuff that are still moving out, so that's great. But I'm having to think about, do I continue to make soap? Like, we're moving into the fall, and that's usually a really busy time, but I've never been in this situation where people weren't buying soap. And so I'm having to question my whole existence. Put those I know you can't really see what's happening down in there. It's a very tall box. I don't really feel like changing my camera at the moment. Alrighty then. We're just trying to make a nice layer down here for all of... I'm losing my mind. Okay, here we go. Nope, don't fall over. We are hoping, so now we're behind on the cabin. We're like really behind. We have to be done in 3 months. We don't have HVAC done. Plumbing's not done. He has really delayed us so much. But, I mean, plumbing's our own fault, but it's close. Oh, I'm gonna put a soap there. We have so much HVAC stuff just sitting around, we almost can't function. And so, like, I could be painting the cabinets, we could start placing cabinets other than where, you know, plumbing and all that goes. But we could be placing the cabinets and everything, but I just can't get there because we've got so much HVAC stuff just strewn about. Alright, so these, do I want to put those in? I feel like I want to put these in first. So we have cranberry limeade and sugared watermelon from the last release. I don't know that this is still going to fit, because we're doing some awkward stuff over here, but I don't, no, that won't work. That won't give me any extra space. If I could turn these and get 2 right there, that would be better for me. So we'll try that. Let's see what happens there. We have to build this up. They're not sitting all at a funky angle. We have, I guess I'll show you, peonies and peaches. That one is gone. I doubt I'll remake those in bath bombs now, this time of year. And then we have 2 of the figgy cream bath bombs. Get some padding down in there, just a little bit to keep everybody from jostling too much. Alright, now I still have to put the other figgy in. Alright, so oh, you're sticking out. Alright, here we go. We're going to do that. We have 2 mango coconut peach. I had not put these on as the odds and extras, apparently. I completely forgot. So, those came in with this release. I think we're going to make it. We'll see about him. So then we have the 2 donuts. I love how these turned out. I will focus on making some more of the donut bath bombs. They are so much fun. They weigh a little bit more, but they're just so cool. I've always hesitated to do the drizzle because the drizzle adds more ingredients and I don't like adding more ingredients. Oh, I was hoping that maybe that one would still go there. Let's see. Anyway, it adds the mica, titanium dioxide, iron oxide, fluoroflogopite, whatever, fluoroflogopite. Alright, that did work. Look. Looky looky. I heard that some of you like watching me try to wrangle all of this, so that's a good thing. I know some people turn their noses up at these packet chats, and I'm like, yo, the people that want to watch them, love them. If you don't like them, don't watch them. Not a huge deal. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? Did I get that last mango? I did. Alright. There's a... Bring that over a little bit. I want to protect that strawberry donut a little bit more over here. Sometimes makers do the drizzle, so do like cocoa butter and drizzle. That's cute and all. I've tried that before. Unfortunately, what happens in my particular situation, one, they're very hard to shrink wrap because the heat of the shrink wrap melts the cocoa butter and then things get weird. And two, when they're in transit, the drizzle stays gripped to the shrink wrap. And then as things start moving along, things start breaking apart. And I have had a horrible scenario where most of my customers got their bath bomb in powder form. So, some of you may remember that scenario. We tried to avoid that situation. So I'm going to put in another one of these coconut raspberries. It's very good. In fact, I think it was Cassidy that replied on a bath bomb something tropically, so that's kind of what I was thinking about, was the coconut at the time. And then we're going to put in wax melts. We have the sunflower and the bronze strawberry. Now, these are super adorable. You may remember my sunflower wax melts as being very large, but I do not have those molds. They are apparently in Missouri and I couldn't buy any new. And truly, cutting up one of those big, not watermelons, sunflower was kind of difficult. So I like the idea of these minis. And then we had the bronze strawberry, which I couldn't make very many of these because I ran out of the fragrance. But look how cute. And it's so fun. It's amazing. And so those are out. I won't even have any in an odds and extras. That's just all there is to it. So this first one is done. We have made it. I'm really conflicted on samples. Why is there so much space right there? I know I can put in samples from other, like, that wasn't in this order, but they're in those orders, so I'm thinking. Alright, I'm going to close this one up. I guess I'll put in the peonies and peaches sample. And then let's do a fireside. No, let's not do fireside move yet. I don't know if I've sent a pair mascarpone, but I will send another. Wax melt. So, pear, mascarpone. Like NASCAR ponies. mascarpone. They smell amazing, by the way. I just have them in samples. Alright, so box 1 is complete. I'm going to have to, yeah. We'll put this lovely blue paper on the top with a sticker. And this first one is ready to go. I don't think the other two will be as complex. Okay, so we're doing the second one, second and third. I'm going to try to fit these all into the 1288 again. So let's put in the jars. So we have, let's see, it's pretty much repeats for the most part. So we have a moonberry soap scrub. We have 2 of the figgy creams. Those are actually stacked 3 high. And then we have a bronze strawberry and the figgy cream whipped cream soap. I thought I would put in a coconut lime verbena scrub. I had an extra jar that wasn't listed on the website. And then a mountain huckleberry bath salt also was sitting there. It was just a different batch scenario, so I did not have them on the website, was all because it didn't match. Okay, so we're going to put in mountain huckleberry soap in cranberry limeade, and I did raise up my camera. I was like, well, if I'm doing this again in this size, then geez, I better raise her up. Let's do, I don't know that that matters, but I like it. We have coconut lime verbena and lemon rose water. And then we have cherry hill and a lavender. I feel like I'll put actually the sugared watermelon, those two together. We did go ahead and have a peonies and peaches and another bronze strawberry. We have a banana coconut cream and then that lavender again. Let's do that. Looks good. We have a spray here. Now, if you remember, the room and linen sprays have to go surface transportation only because the flash point is so low on the base with actually very good ingredients, but the base has a higher flash point, which means it can't fly. So I have to mark surface transportation only, which is a hazmat label. So don't be too long. Anyway, I just keep forgetting to mark the room sprays as that designation. And so finally I put a note on my scale. So now every time I walk over there to put a package on my scale, it says room spray, question mark. And then I remember. It's quite dandy. What a goober. I just texted my husband. I was like, did he show up while, because he parks on the other side of the cabin. Did he show up while I was in the grate above? And he's like, no, but he's texted, says he's delayed, but he's still on his way. I'm gonna get twitchy. If we don't end up in the hospital before this is all over, I will be shocked, shocked, shocked. Alright, so put in that spray, which was the peonies and peaches. Actually, I think you can lay down. That's cool. I feel like I'm beating a... Well, that's not a very nice... That's not a nice saying, so I'm not going to continue on with that. But I feel like I'm being very repetitive. All my videos about HVAC, but that's just our life right now. That's what we're living. Okay, so we have 3 of the Honey Bears bath bombs, the Cherry Hill and the Mountain Huckleberry. Let's make sure that we put a sticker in. I was also going to show you, isn't it so funny? It's actually very clean, it's just old. But I have my phone, my phone is snowflakes because it's been on there for so long that why bother, it'll be snowing again before we know it. That's one of those things I have a hard time buying cases for my phone. I love all the fun cases. There's a wildflower that I want from Velvet Caviar, but I have not gotten it. I feel like that room spray should just be up right after all. Then I could put a bath bomb in there. Let's do that. Alright, so we have, with 2, I need to go cut some more of these. We're going to do a moonberry. Did we show a moonberry already? Can't remember. I checked this list and I double checked it. So I'm feeling confident about just grabbing things at this point. And then we are going to put in 4 more figgy cream bath bombs. That's nice. And then let's put in some of these. Let's put in the donut. This one's pretty perfect right there. Alright, I think I'll put in some of the bears. 1. You want to know it's also a sad state of affairs? My coffee joint raised their prices because of tariffs and cost of operations, and now they're not really in my budget anymore. Rude. Understandable, but rude. I think I still want to put the figgy creams if I could get them over there. We're starting to get tight, aren't we? I'd like to put a couple there. I will pull out that huckleberry bath salt if I need to, so that I have that extra room. Okay. Oh. Okay, everybody is refreshed. Not me, but the cameras. They have the same settings. They're basically the same cameras, but there must be a setting off that I haven't noticed, because it is, the older one runs out of battery so fast. Alright, well, we still have a lot to do. Eeks. That bear is pretty snug over there. We'll see how it keeps going here. Have to get this other heavy cream. And then we have a huckleberry bear and another cherry hill. If I don't get it all in at this point, I think I will just start another small box. Let's do that. everybody is. Just snug as a bug in a rug in there. But I'm not sure that this is all going to fit because I do have the new car diffuser. Where do I have one of those to show you? I called it a car diffuser, but it's just a mini hanging diffuser. Now, like, it's perfect in our camper bathrooms. They just give the most delightful scent. I have them hanging in my vehicles. I do have them from a visor, but you have to be very cautious because, you know, there's the butterfly trying to hang out with me outside, but he's like, derp, 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 derp. Anywho's it. The fact of the matter is that concentrated fragrance oils can cause issues with your skin and with surfaces. So if it were to fall off and break, if the lid wasn't on right and it, you know, fell and leaked on your, say, car interior or countertop or whatever, it would cause a problem. So you do have to use these with caution. I personally have not had that issue. I find that once you screw them on tight, they are very snug. But what you do is you take out the little plug and you bend them over and you soak it a little bit, and then it releases a small amount of scent. This one was a tester that I did of a woodsy, but I decided it was too Christmassy. It was throwing me off. But I have the bronze strawberry, my Suburban, and I absolutely love that. I love it so much. And then the Jeep has, well, I guess it had that one. Here's the thing. I personally smell so much scent that I don't want to smell scent most of the time. So I'm not big on burning candles except for in the winter. I'm not huge on having things like this in my vehicle. I just want to get in and smell real, just normal old air. So I do test things, but as a general rule, I prefer my soaps and my scrubs, you know, and stuff like that. I like the short bursts of scent. I love the sprays where you just want a little bit of scent, so you just spritz it and you get it for a while, but then it starts dissipating and it's not like in your face. So I had my very first tester. Are we being overrun by butterflies again? So I had my very first tester, the Mango Coconut Peach, in the Suburban. Well, we go off-road and we go trailing, and this thing was just like, you know, doing these things, and I was like, whoa, that's too much, because you're supposed to just bend it over, you know, and soak it, but the way it was just flopsing around, it was just like fully saturated all the time. So we have the Mango Coconut Peach, which I absolutely 100% adore. I really feel like I might just put the wax melts in another little box. It's just that I'm so close here. Let's try it. Let's just see what happens. That's fine there. It's still well under the surface. So we have Figgy Cream and Moonberry. Let's see how many we can fit on here. Maybe. We have Sugared Watermelon, Peonies and Peaches, and Sunberry. What is? Cassidy, you're going to smell good. Your house is going to smell good. Everything is smelling amazing where you come from. Very good. But maybe not. That is still below the surface. Indeed, it's still below the surface. So then we have 2 of the sunflowers. Oh, opie ope. Let's do, maybe shift that over. Let's turn these and shift that over. And then this can kind of fit down into that nook a little bit. We didn't get in the coconut lime scrub, but the rest is there. That's a great package. We did it. Now, at least South Dakota is not too far from me, and it's not too, well, I don't know. Let's see. What's the temperature? What temp is it in South Dakota? Nice. Looks like you're having a little bit of a cool front too. So, yay, we're like almost 90 around here, but we're gonna have a cool front go back into the 70s. Delightful and wonderful. Alright, so I guess in this one, so the last box got the bath bomb, I think. Didn't I do that? I only have one left, so yeah. Has the bath bomb. And then this one has the bath salts. Alright, well, I don't really have anything else to tuck in, so I think I'm going to go with that. And then alright, so where'd this sticker go? I feel like I had a Huckleberry sticker here. Oh, he fell on the floor. Oh, that's sad. That's so sad. That is a very full box. Well, for those of you that are invested on this HVAC situation, I'll put a note in here if he actually shows up. It's unlikely. We were talking about percentages, likelihoods, and we came up with a 1.25% chance that he will show up on any given day. I am just going to start working on the rest of my orders. I had a few orders that came in, so I'm going to work on those. I'm going to put everything away because tomorrow is a soap making day, and I'm very excited about it because I really am excited to make soap. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, this little extra pack and chat. I know the people that love the pack and chats truly love them, and I thank you for your views and your comments and all your support. Our products, as always, are available at moriversoap.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. There's all sorts of information in the video description, and I will catch you later. Bye.